On today's episode of the Indie Center podcast, we sit down with a Chicago native who has taken an interesting twist on marketing himself as a real estate agent, creating his own web series called In Your Neighborhood, where he showcases the many beautiful communities that make up our home. Not only that, but this guy has done plenty of commercial print work and continues to work with Chicago 3 Media, interviewing the many talents that visit our beautiful city, Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my sit down with Mike the Realtor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. I could probably end the list right there, but I'm going to continue. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. Speaking from personal experience, creating a podcast felt so overwhelming. I didn't know where to start, but using Anchor was a no-brainer. Their website and app is user-friendly. You're able to navigate through it easily. It's pretty cool, guys. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. A one-stop shop. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. This episode of the Indie Center podcast is brought to you by Spotify, the place where you can listen to your favorite artists and podcasts for free. Did you hear me? You don't even need a premium membership. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcast so you never miss an episode. Are you subscribed to me yet? Wink, wink. Premium users can download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, and that is so convenient. How many times have you found yourself in an airplane or driving down a road with no reception and you just want to escape but can't? You are stuck sitting next to somebody that snores, or you're stuck in a meaningless conversation and you just want to listen to podcasts. Well, now you can, guys, and you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends on Instagram. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to download the Spotify app and search for Indie Center Podcast on Spotify, or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. Also, make sure to follow me so you never miss an episode. Mike, buddy, how you doing?
Great, man. How are you?
Good. Thank you for accepting my invite on being my first.
Of course. I'll pop in your podcast cherry as we speak.
Ow.
And
hopefully it's not painful.
With some bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is good.
And some fresh air, man.
And some fresh air, chilling on my deck. What do you think about my deck, man? I just finished it.
Actually, yeah. This is my first time being on it. I like it.
So I wanted more furniture. You went with me to buy these chairs, remember?
Yeah. Are you going to buy more?
I am. You know what? I regret not buying two more that day.
We couldn't even fit in the car.
But yeah, you're right. They couldn't fit in my car.
You had all those promo banners.
Banners, and that's right, and boxes of, because we were getting ready for the Cuban Fest, yeah, that went well.
I like it.
It's not bad, right?
It's you got a lot more space to play with.
Yeah.
I like what you did with the lights, though.
The lights are going to turn on shortly.
Oh, they're automatic?
No, I got to go to the garage and plug them in automatically.
The way you said it, like, oh, they're going to turn on, like.
No.
That.
This Mexican has to go to the garage to turn them on. This is the way we do it.
All right. So the reason why I wanted to sit down and talk to you is because, you wear many hats. Not only are you a real estate agent, you actually have a full-time job as a retail manager.
Yeah.
And you're doing all this and doing your web series while maintaining a marriage and having a personal life as well. So I wanted.
Am I doing all that?
I don't know how you do that.
You forgot I'm also life licensed, so if anybody needs life insurance, I can sell it to
God.
I have to renew my license on that too.
When does it expire?
My birthday.
It expired?
No, it'll expire at the end of September, so I got to get the ball rolling on that, and I'm trying to get my Florida license because.
God damn you.
Yeah. So.
Are you gonna move down there?
Not anytime soon.
probably when you get older, right?
I get older.
Like the old people usually go to Florida.
Yeah.
That's where they like die.
Yeah, that's where I will meet the Lord. He will meet me in Florida.
With a nice tan.
On the beach.
So, how do you do it? How do you find time to, you know, show apartments, show houses, close on houses, do your web series?
Yeah, I think I'm figuring that out as we go. To be honest with you, I don't think it's like
you're not succeeding in everything. You're failing.
Exactly, you know? and that's what and that's what it's okay to admit. Like, and I don't even want to say we're failing because, okay, I think for myself, I'm super hard on myself. So for me, a day that's not productive, I feel sometimes I failed, right? I'm like, man, what a failure ass I am, you know, like
even on your day off, like if it's on a Sunday and you just want to relax.
Yeah, and that's where I think I needed a season to sit back and reflect, right? Which I'm just getting out of, but I'm not so burdensome anymore, right? I'm free now. I feel like the time of settling and the time of just being away and just getting a sort of like a hiatus. Yeah. I feel like I needed that for the soul. Like I needed just enrichment, you know? Yeah. And that was between, you know, me and God. And it allowed me to grow closer to God and my wife, of course, that's always needed. But now I feel like I'm rested, but I don't feel like I'm doing a ton of things at once. Okay. Because I try to take a chill. I don't want to be so crazy running around anymore like I was, because I feel like that's what really led me to
kind of burned you out.
Yeah, it burned me out. That's what it did. And that's because there was no organization. Yeah. You want to do a million things at once.
You wanted to put your hands in so many cookie jars and you weren't
organized. You can't do that with no organization. And I feel like that's what happened to me. Okay. And I think the time of rest, it allowed me to write, it allowed me to just heal, and it allowed me to reflect. And now I do things a little bit more proactive than reactive, right?
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I think that's helping me a lot.
So I'm going to start at the top with you, okay? Real estate. We're going to jump through different segments. Start with real estate, go through acting, and see how it blends together, and we'll finish it off. Why real estate?
So I've always been into sales. Like I always loved, you know, just selling.
Yeah.
Selling something.
Did you sell cars?
I sold cars.
Oh, you did?
Dude, it took me a while to get up to real estate, right? I sold, I think my first sale was, of some sort, was like raffle tickets to the Firefighters Association, Chicago Firefighters Association, back in like the late 80s, like 87, 88, 89. Okay. Yeah. I was 16 around that time, you know? So I'm in high school at that time, and I wanted a job because I was a DJ, and I wanted to buy my own equipment. I wanted to buy my own records. So I think that was the first sale. When I realized as a kid that I was closing people on the phone, telemarketing, with the old rotaries. Yeah. Don't dial 911, one of those. Yeah. By the time you get to the second one, you're dead.
You're dead.
So, and then I worked my way up to register paper, cash register paper. I would sell boxes of cash register paper to the supermercados. I would go to the supermercados in the neighborhood, and I worked for a company called Chicago Paper Products. And that's a plug right there, right? And I don't know if they're even still around.
Sponsor me.
But I would get all the Mexican and the Latino
Were you the only Latin worker?
Of course.
Didn't you English?
Of course. They had me there. But anyway, and I did well with him. And that was outside sales, and that's when I knew, man, I this is what I wanted to do. So sold cars, food, sold everything.
So what led you to real estate? Because real estate's always been here.
Sure. So 2008.
Okay.
I was selling cars. The market crashed.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
People were losing their homes. No one was buying a car. So what happened? I ended up finding an ad on Craigslist that said, rent apartments and make money. And I was like, you know what? I got a car, I got car insurance, I got a laptop, and I got a cell phone. And I got a will. I got to make this happen.
Yeah.
I was sick and tired of sitting at the dealership looking like some freaking, shark and nothing coming in.
The fact that you answered a Craigslist ad, I would never answer a Craigslist ad. It just, I don't know, so many serial killers come.
I answered a Craigslist ad, and sure enough,
sell my basement.
The dude was like, come work out of a real estate office, as a leasing agent, and make commission on renting apartments. So I was like, people are losing their homes and are forced to rent. That's a market. So I dove in.
Did you have that epiphany when he brought that up to you? Did you?
No,
make that connection?
I didn't. I just thought it's a hustle, and I'm a hustler to make it happen. But I started meeting people that were losing homes, and I was like, wow, this is what's happening. So as realtors are running away from the business,
you were going in.
I'm jumping in. So as the stampede of realtors are just running you over, I'm walking against the grain, and people are like, you're becoming a realtor now?
Yeah.
You're crazy. And I'm like, I know I'm crazy. And I'm still crazy. I'm still crazy, man.
Throughout your whole real estate journey, has there been any culture shocks for you?
Of course.
Because, I mean, your web series is in your neighborhood and you're touring, all these different places. What was the most shock for you, being, a Mexican from a Humboldt Park area, Logan Square area, kind of sheltered?
Yeah. I think one of the culture shocks that I got was when I sold, I met an Arabic family. Today they're dear friends of mine.
Oh,
beautiful
really?
People. Yeah, well, they were referred to me by a lender, and they wanted to purchase a home, and I started helping them. And you know how we are, we're Latinos. So when we say hi, we don't just be like, how you doing? We handshake. What do? We're like, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
Boom. We hug, and your wife is there. Hey, how you doing, sister?
Kiss,
Boom, you hug and kiss on the cheek, and and then we do that along with everybody else.
Yeah,
well, I learned the hard way that you just don't do that in their culture.
What culture was this?
Arabic, Middle Eastern.
Okay.
And I go up to the guy, I hug the guy, and I go to the son, I hug the son, and they were like, yeah, you just shake her hand. I was like, whoa, sorry, I was all over this lady, and like, hey, how you doing? I wanted to.
Did she hug you back?
No. It was they totally very. I didn't hug her, but
You made him cry.
I made him cry because they called me Satan for a few hours, but after that I was okay. But that's it. Like, you can't touch, only a handshake. That's it with the women.
Yeah.
Men cannot hug the women, cannot touch the woman in any way. I mean, I may be wrong, but I know that, or maybe it was just me.
Yeah.
You peasant, you're freaking, what is that? Heathen.
Yeah, heathen.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Your view. So the way you structured your show, it's kind of like you're selling yourself, but you're selling the community. I want you to explain your different view on marketing, because that, after all, it is marketing for you to get more clientele, get more people, and broaden your audience. So, how did acting and real estate merge for you?
So here's how it happened. It's, I don't know, January, February.
Okay.
A few years ago, and I'm thinking, all right, here goes the spring campaign coming around the corner again, which means flyers, postcards, magnets, T-shirts.
Did you ever do the benches? Your face on the bench?
But I'm actually considering one really soon. But I'm creating all these flyers, and I'm just so bored, and I'm just like, oh, this is brutal. It's just boring. People are gonna just grab them when they get home,
toss them
in the garbage. And I was just like, And I was like, I'm tired of this. Like, I need something refreshing. And then all of a sudden, you know, I was thinking, well, what do I love to do besides real estate? And I thought, I love people. I love being on camera as far as interviewing people. Everyone has a story, hence why you're here.
Yeah.
Right? And so everyone has a story. And everyone's story is fascinating to me. Like, everyone has dark moments. Everyone has valleys. Everyone has mountains, right?
There's a lot of history in the present.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's key right there, right? Like, there's a lot of history in the present. And so thinking about that, it's like, I love being on camera and I love interviewing people.
God, you're so conceited.
No, it's what I love to do.
Oh, you love being on camera. You like watching yourself.
It's not even like that. I guess I love sharing other people's stories to the world. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that camera is the eyes of the world. And you can bring them something unique. Maybe it's not even from anyone you know or anyone you've ever heard of. But once you dig into that person's context, it's like, man, that's just like me.
Yeah.
Or that's, you know, we're always relatable. We're humans.
Yeah.
Right? We're created to have relationships, right? And so that's the beauty of it. And so being able to share that to the world, I started thinking, that's it. That's it. Instead of spending all this money on marketing, as far as flyers, magnets, and I still have flyers and magnets, by the way, you're taking a few. But, you know, there's just, I said, how much do you spend on marketing on those things? Thousands sometimes.
Oh.
I mean, because they go all over.
Yeah.
And don't forget your Facebook ads and your social media ads. All that costs money.
Yeah.
And so thinking about it is like, how about with the connections that I have as far as like on camera, right? Like we know cameramen, we know audio guys, we know actors, right? Because we've been in the business a little bit. So at least we have a go-to. And now with Facebook, you jump on an ad and you find a team.
Yeah.
Well, ended up saying, you know what? I'm going to search for a cameraman and I'm going to create something. And I just started writing. And I set up a day one day with a referral that I got from a friend of mine, actually from a tenant, gave me a cameraman, and he brought his audio guy and another cameraman, and I had the episode on paper. I didn't even know what it was going to be called. All I knew is I had the drive, the motivation, the determination, and the balls to just do it, and said, I'm going to just do it.
Bam.
And I just did the first episode, and if you look at it, it's like I cringe at the ending because I just didn't write it out correctly, and they're just things that you learn.
You talking about the end where you're signing off?
Yeah, I just feel like I could have done better. But
I liked it.
I
like the whole concept.
And then I got to interview the Frank Calabrese. I just started giving it a harder push. I took all this ended up taking a lot of time and money, and like you said, you got a job, you got family, you got clients, you got so much to do that I was only able to shoot very, very little. Yeah. But now I feel like I'm picking up some tread. I'm motivated again, and I just finished shooting the Little Italy episode, and I'm looking on to the next episode, man. So I'm moving.
How, where, and when? How did it happen for you? Because you were selling cars, and then you went from selling cars 08 to doing real estate. Where's the time frame with that?
So when I jumped into real estate, I also was doing extras. I was doing little little casting calls for extras.
Yeah.
I did I was a doctor for Meet the Fockers, and I did an independent film.
Did you make it on camera?
No, I didn't make it on camera on the Fockers. What else? I did some other reality shows, not reality show, A&E stuff, Gangland. And
I saw you had a dramatization, right?
Yeah.
You have the DVD in your house.
Yeah, I did one of those FBI file things for Discovery Channel. I played a murder suspect, and it's on YouTube. It's hilarious.
I gotta watch it.
But all that to say is that I was around that time, and once again, Craigslist.
You answered Craig. That's how you got into it, Craigslist? No, you didn't get in. Okay,
so I saw an ad that said looking for an on-camera host tonight, ASAP, and I was like,
that didn't sound fishy.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I clicked on it, and it just was a paragraph, and his name was Bill, with his phone number, Chicago 3 Media. Okay. And I was like, I'm going to give him a call. He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, look, I just replying to the ad. He goes, excuse me. He's like, send me your email with your picture right now. So, I sent him my headshots and a resume. And he's like, all right, you got some experience with a little acting. What about on camera? I'm like, no, but I can ad-lib, and he's like, can you come down to the joint tonight? And the joint was back then was like a little, it's actually a lot of history there because that's where all the Irish mobsters would hang out in the 20s. So it's in the Gold Coast, really nice bar. And so anyway, there's an event there for the military veterans for Christmas. It was in December. He's like, if you can make it down tonight, I'll get you on camera. I said, I'll see you in an hour. Dude, I was so excited. I flew over there. I met him on camera. Here's the mic. Start walking around interviewing people.
Were you nervous?
Dude, no, I think I was just so excited. And then I'm walking around. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm Michael with Chicago 3 Media. Your name is? Yeah, my name's Anthony. Anthony, what brings you here today? You're just asking the questions. I'm just flowing, dude. And that's when I knew. I was like, I want to be an on-camera host, interviewer. It was just so much fun, man. Hearing the stories from these veterans, the military veterans, just like that inspired me. That encouraged me, And then just being able to talk to them, just regular
people,
like regular people, man. We're friends, and then they were so open on being on camera, and it was fun. And so ever since that, I was like, man. So Bill ended up saying, hey, you want to do more of these? I'm like, hell yeah. And he just started sending me press releases, and we started doing them, dude. And then I remember one day Univision contacted him and says, hey, El Gordo y la Flaca are in Little Village today. You guys got to get out there. I flew over there, and I actually, dude, I walk in, and they thought I was dude, I'm from Chicago3Media.com. Not to disrespect my crew there. I love them. They gave me my first shot. I'm still doing stuff for them, with them. You know what I mean? But it's like they thinking I'm over here like Lester Holt from Dateline coming in or something. Like, oh, this guy must be some bigwig from Chicago. I mean, they didn't know who the hell I was.
Yeah.
But I came in with a camera crew.
So were you starstruck?
Initially, I was. But as soon as I knew I was going to interview them, they were so nice. And that's what makes an interview good, right? Like when the person you're going to interview, when the talent is open to, they're cool, they know, like they're just friendly, it makes the interview, because I'm a people person. I mostly get along with everybody.
You mostly get along with everybody?
I mean, I try to, but I'm saying, like, if as far as like to interview someone.
How did you get to that web series? You say you were working on it, writing on it. You didn't know what you were doing. What was going through your mind through that whole process? Huh? It is. It is. I almost feel like just upping it as a shot.
I know.
Not sipping it.
At first you did, though. You were like,
I was going to. That's the way I see. If I see liquor in a small cup, I'm taking it all up. No chaser. But how did you come up with that? I know you said you wanted to mend them together, but how was that writing process? Because you were writing like crazy.
I just wrote down ideas after another.
Did you trash a lot of them?
I still have them.
Okay, you do?
Yeah, and I just think that a person with anxiety, and this is a real thing, like people, struggle with anxiety, and it leads them to depression, and that's a real thing, man. And I'm an advocate of those who, try to help people, with anxiety, because it's rough. But I used writing as an outlet of healing, dude.
Yeah.
And whatever I would write, man, I've always had a desire to write, and I've always had so much to write about. It's just putting it into action. And so now, I have a couple of notebooks, and I don't go without them. I write. And so that's what happened. I just started writing segments in my head. Like, who would I visit, and who would I interview, and what would I ask? And that's when I came up with the Little Italy edition. And social media has been such a, it could be a gift and it could be a curse, right? And it all depends on how you utilize it, right? And so, I've got to network with some great people, and I got the Frank Calabrese episode.
That was great.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Shout out to my boy Frank. Frank, man, thank you. doing your thing, man, and I gotta respect him, man. He comes from a rough background, man, but
he's really
Frank
humble,
has always been. And you were there for the shoot.
I was scared. When I saw him, and I was in the car, I didn't know how he looked. I was Googling him, looking at photos, and I heard that he was here. I was in the car, and I was like, "Oh, is that tall white guy? Oh, crap! Why's he got to be tall?"
You could tell back in the '80s he was a big boy.
He was huge,
you
man.
could tell he was probably.
So I mean, I approached him. I was scared.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank, but just first impression, I was scared.
Yeah.
But great guy.
Yeah, man. We learned a lot that day from him and from the family, and we learned from the movie Casino.
Yes.
Right? Not everything in Hollywood.
Yeah, he explained that.
Yeah.
There was actually one part of that interview that actually I recorded it because it was heartfelt to me, and I almost cried. Is when he was talking about when he had to turn himself in.
Yeah, man.
Man, that hit me because as a father, I put myself in that position and how tough he had to be.
He said his daughters too.
And his daughters were like, "Don't worry, Dad. I know you're sad, but when you get home, we'll watch our favorite movie."
Right,
like,
exactly.
Now him knowing he's not coming home.
The feds at him right there.
God.
Yep. And for those of you who haven't checked it out yet, go to my YouTube page. It's Mike the Realtor. You'll be able to see it there, and
yes,
check it out.
So I like your entire image. I like, I love the series. The moment that you sent me the first episode, I was game. I loved it. I was on board. Like I've been with you since day one.
I know that. Thanks for your love, bro. Support.
Thank you. Did you research any hosts or interviewers in preparation for it? Because your intros and the way you talk is. It's like, oh, okay, you got a little sauce in there. So did you look at anybody?
So, yeah, there's a couple of favorites. Mario Lopez, man.
He's great.
Beast.
Man, his longevity's crazy.
He's so good, man. He looks great. Stays in shape.
He doesn't look like a day over 22,
No, he doesn't, man. But he's just so good at what he does. He's a beast. So I always look at him. And but there's also a dude that maybe not many people are going to know. He's from our TV local station here, Fox, Channel 32 in the morning.
Okay.
And his name is Jake Hamilton.
Jake Hamilton.
And dude, I think he's from Texas, though. I think he's from Houston, but he's here doing work. He's been on Channel 32 for a long time. Uh-huh. But dude is solid. He doesn't stutter. He is just a machine. And yeah, man, those two guys are who I really look at a lot because they're
personable.
Move, they're mobile. They're mobile. So you grab the mic, and you're on the street, and you get the camera, and you're game. Uh-huh. And now you can make any show you want. Both of those guys can make a show on the spot and make it entertaining.
And the thing is, you do it so often and so long. It becomes second nature.
Second nature.
You look at a person, you could come up with questions about how they look and what they're wearing, and you look like you do this, and you find common grounds to where you could talk. I think that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So, any high-profile locals that you would like to interview?
Yeah. So, I just interviewed Mikey the Fly Garcia, the original Mikey the Fly Garcia.
Shout out to Oscar Rodriguez from Go.
Oh man.
Go Sky Productions.
Yeah. He's my guy. Oscar and his crew, Omar, those guys threw down at the Taylor Street Fest with me. They worked their asses off. Mad love out to them, and we're gonna keep going. They're excited at what I got. They're excited at my vision.
Okay.
And I'm excited at their integrity and how hard they work. It's hard to find that.
Yeah.
And what's even harder to find? Someone that is reliable, but that also believes in your vision.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that.
I mean, because you could find
all day. I'll work for you. Let's charge me $350 or audio. It may be cheap, or it may be standard, but I've gotten it less expensive.
Yeah.
Right. I've gotten it cheaper.
Yeah.
And great work.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, yeah, your project sounds pretty cool. $350. It's like I would have given it to you.
Yeah.
If you're like, dude, this. Yeah. If you truly listen and understand my project, and you're all in, and you can, dude, because you understand the vision.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like you just threw out a number because that's what your going rate is. Yeah. your going rate.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't understand the vision. You're from where? Denver? Sorry. You know? No disrespect to Denver. I got a homie out there. Yeah. My thing is, you're trying to charge me a ton of money and you're not from Chicago. You don't understand my vision and you just throw a number out there.
Yeah.
No, I need people that are going to believe in this product, right? And
because they're going to take care of it more.
Right. Yeah. And nobody's going to take care of it like me. That's why I direct it. That's why I'm the writer and director of it. Right? So as soon as you're done here, as soon as we're done, I got to go in and I got to write for Thursday because we're shooting on Thursday and we're doing the intro.
Oh, really?
I'm doing a whole new intro to the show.
Okay.
So it's going to stick with the next few episodes. And I just have to really brainstorm and, you know, and just freaking try to get as many good ideas as possible on paper so I can put them on out there for the new intro.
So do you have anything in mind for the 4th episode?
A couple things in mind.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be involved. Yes, so every day I meet people.
Uh-huh.
And once again, every day that person has an amazing story, right? And so, as you know, I'm a manager in a high profile corporation for mobile services, right? Yeah. And a gentleman walked in and we got to talk a little bit and he started talking about the youth and the murders that are going on in Chicago. And that's always a topic of conversation that is hard to have here, man, because we're from here, you know, but I'm also not from those areas where there's a ton of murders, you know, and so when you hear someone that actually is from there, not everybody wants to step into their context to understand them.
Yeah.
I do. And so I listened and I heard him. And he ends up being the football coach of Proviso West, and pretty big name in the neighborhood. And he fights for the youth and he loves the kids and is a mentor to these kids. And I think that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, entertainment is fun and it's always going to be there.
So you're not more focused on the local celebrities. You're more focused.
I don't even want to say more focused on celebrities or not.
Yeah.
I want to say everyone has a story, no matter where you come from.
Everyone has a voice that needs to be heard.
Everybody has a voice that needs to be heard, whether it's rough news or whether it was beauty that was made from what we call trash, right? Back, you know, like whatever you can make, it's redeemed. Right?
Yeah.
It's restored. That's the beauty of it. That's why I loved interviewing Frank Calabrese Jr. Right? You look at his book and his dad and the life that they lived and the FBI and the murders and all these crazy mobster stories.
Yeah.
But then you see who he is today. That's a whole different, and that's what you love to show, that we all gone through rough times, right?
Yeah.
But the beauty is that we all have a second chance and we all get that second chance, right?
That's beautiful. Is there a part that you found most difficult that you didn't realize until you stepped in to the series?
Yeah. I think, I think sometimes I like to be a little faster with questions and a little faster with the interview because it's professional and this is what you do. You're asking the questions and you're moving the interview along. But because I'm so passionate about, you know, the person that I'm interviewing, and because I want to know their information, and because I want to know their story and share it with the world, I think I get caught up in that, like a friendship.
Yeah.
That stalls the interview.
So it prolongs it. So you needed to, because you're paying for the length of it.
Sure, and I don't even worry about like paying for the length of it. I just think because you don't want to bore the audience neither with a prolonged question.
Yeah.
But if it's organic, I don't know if I'm boring so much. Now, maybe you are, and you know, feedback is welcomed. But at the end of the day, it's like a good interviewer, like I said, Jake Hamilton, he moves that interview along, but it's also people, he's very people oriented. He's very good with people. He's just good and friendly and inviting. And so I think that's what I want to learn to develop, is to get the interview through but at the same time still be Mike the Realtor, right? Like your friend.
Yeah.
But I just don't feel like that's organic for me. But we'll see.
So is there a part that you enjoy the most? Because you're a big people person.
Yeah.
So out of everything, what do you love the most about your series? What do you want people to go away with?
You know, in the series, my name is Mike the Realtor, and that's who I am, right? Mm-hmm. But in the series, I'm not pushing any kind of sale.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell your house. I'm not trying to sell you a house. Now, that's what I do. I'm a realtor. But I want people to understand that I want to be the bridge between a consumer and a new community, right? Because the neighborhood is not made up of the establishments, the restaurants, the cafes, the boutiques, the bookstores, right? All these beautiful things. Without people, those things don't exist.
Yeah.
Without so what is the community? Rather, it's who is the community? It's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people. So I want to be the one to say, hey, where are you coming from? Schaumburg, and you want to move to where? You want to move to Logan Square? You just picked the perfect agent. Because I'm going to take you not only to the houses you want to see, I'm going to take you to the hottest spots, right? And if you're not, if you don't want to go physically with me, you're going to just go on Logan Square episode and see what Logan Square offers.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of be that bridge between the consumer and, the community. Mm-hmm. And if someone is selling, moving, I want to be that friendly friend that's there to help them in the process.
Uh-huh.
That's what I really want people to understand, that, at the end of the day, the wind is blowing, huh?
God.
So because of that, and then of course, in the meantime, doing it with having fun.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about, is having fun. The free food is great.
Who wouldn't like free food?
Top-notch restaurants interviewing chefs. He comes out with a plate with like one little piece of meat. This is the new entree we have, with one asparagus and
$80.
$80. I'll be like, let me get 16 of these.
If you would like to learn more and connect with Mike the Realtor, please visit MikeTheRealtor.properties. That's MikeTheRealtor.properties. There you would find all of his social media handles, his Facebook, his IG, his Twitter, his YouTube channel with all of his videos. Please check it out and support your local talent. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay centered on all Indie Center podcast episodes. If you are an independent creator and have a story to share and want to have a sit down, please email me at indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. That's indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. If you have sponsorship inquiries, I'd love to help local businesses. Please email me at indiecenter.podcast@gmail.com. Until next Monday, guys. Peace.